or one of our users would like to know how the colour and texture was applied to the pool in this example. If we select the pool, it's simply a polyline. Its colour is set to 143, but note that we've set transparency at 175. That makes the colour a little less intense. But importantly, and because it's closed, the whole of that shape is filled with that colour. But importantly down here, CAD Plus allows you to use two different types of fills. We can have a point fill, as we've got here, and we're going to start with a gradient start colour just by block, which is just white, and that's why in that zone in the middle you get that lightish colour, and we're going to end with a colour 143, but we've also got control over the length of the gradient. So if we wanted a bigger white area, we would shift that maybe to 75 and hit enter, and now notice the white area spans out, and you might prefer that as well. But that's one entity, a different transparency, and we're applying a gradient to it. If we come across to a different one, which is one where I was just fiddling around with trying to do a digital Hakea flower, in this case, if we pick the frame here, again we've got a gradient, but this time it's a linear gradient, so we can switch from none to linear and point. We were looking at a point gradient before, and we're going to go vertical to top and gradient length 75. Let's imagine that we just want to cut it back a little. We'll go to 50, and you can see the gradient change. We click back away from there. So it's a gradient as distinct from a point. Here's the inner part of, I call it a calyx, just on Corona 3, but it starts with red, goes for a gradient length of 35, so lots and lots to play with, but you can get some interesting effects, such as you see here. It's not texture mapping, but it's gradient applying a gradient to closed polylines. So it's quite an efficient way to do things. As far as a drawing file is concerned, it's quite small, only 42 kilobytes for a considerable amount of punch. We'd love to see some examples like that from users. Hope that helps.